Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of your program, Business Thursday, a program whereby we sit with industry leaders and discuss business ideas and share strategies, and they share with us their experience on their journey as entrepreneurs and business stakeholders. Today, we have another exciting topic for you, and if you want to find out all about it, see you after the break.
Experience the art of photography with 7 Studios. Are you looking to capture life's most precious moments in a way that truly reflects your unique story? Look no further than 7 Studios. We offer tailored Photoshop, high-quality images, innovative concepts, and many more. Book your session now and enjoy a 20% discount on your first photo shoot. Don't wait to create memories that will last a lifetime. You can contact us at 679-406-780, or you can visit our Facebook 7 Studios or Instagram 7 Studios 2021. Our wedding page Instagram Weddings by 7 Studios. Book your session today.
If you're just joining us, it's your favorite program, Business Thursday, and as earlier said, today we have another interesting topic to share with you. And with us today, we are going to be having an amazing person who has contributed a lot to the good of the youth in the society and in her environment. And please join me welcome Sandy Nyangha. Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
No, I'm okay. Thank you for coming to our program. Quickly, I would like to find out, Sandra is a digital skill trainer. I don't know, growing up, was that what you always wanted to be, or you were sidetracked, or something changed?
Okay, I'm a lot of things. So when you put it like that, it becomes an issue. Growing up, I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
So I don't think I'm far from what I wanted to be. It's just that my dream has changed a lot along the line, or maybe it is twisting, not necessarily changing.
Yeah.
It's that kind of a thing where you wanted to be a teacher because the people you were seeing around you who were respected in your society were your primary school teachers.
Yeah, definitely.
And then after that, you feel like you want to be a secondary school teacher because you're in secondary school, and then it keeps getting like that. That's how I got to this place today. I got to a point where I felt like, okay, I don't want to be a teacher in the classroom again.
A digital teacher.
Yes, I want to be a digital teacher.
Well, that's quite interesting because, especially given the advent of technology and everything that is coming up right now, I believe at one point in time we had a session where we were talking about AI and how much it's changing.
Yeah.
So therefore, we need to adapt to be able to reach out to as many people as possible.
Exactly.
So, what has the experience been like over the years which you have been as a digital trainer?
It's been interesting.
Okay.
It's been fulfilling because before becoming a digital trainer full time, I was a teacher. I started teaching while in the university, and I was teaching in the classroom. I felt like it was supposed to be me living my dream in that classroom because I was teaching literatures. That was the most exciting thing that could happen to me. I've always wanted to teach literatures. So teaching in that school, teaching deaf children especially, and then making them find value or develops a certain kind of love for literature was exciting. But I just felt at some point that it was limiting me. My reach was not to the extent where I wanted it to be. I wanted more people. I felt like there was a bigger need in the society that I have to serve. And that's how I got here. And so far, it's been fulfilling because I've trained over 2,000 people.
Wow.
And I have a community now. I started building a community earlier this year, and the community has over 1,000 people already. So,
Which means your impact just keep growing into the society.
yeah, absolutely.
So if you pass by the road now, everybody's going to be saying, Sandy, she taught me. I don't
Don't make
school."
that.
Well, it's good when once you have that impact in the society, especially something as education, because
Yeah.
it's really important in today's society, given how much I'm going to focus here on the ladies, because
Yeah.
in a society whereby we are having ladies who are somehow dependent a lot on
Yeah.
the male gender or their parents and stuff, it's important that they can have that avenue whereby they can pick up a skill or two. So, as a digital trainer, what are the skills which you're an expert in, or is this just literature?
Okay. Please let's call it digital skills trainer, not
Okay.
a digital trainer, because
Yeah,
it takes
yeah,
me
sorry.
away from my job. Actually, I work at Maxwell Technologies too. So I'm the director of Maxwell Training, and we offer training in in digital skills or in technological skills. Let me put it that way. So asking how it has been with ladies, I feel like it's a progression with the introduction of technology, with the fact that more ladies are even excited this time to also have something doing. So in most cases, it is the absence of that avenue for them. So when
Yeah.
they have the avenue, they embrace it excellently, they embrace it excitedly. So I feel like it's going well so far.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So speaking of about embracing it, it's true that right now it's more like a wave of understanding the fact that I need to stand up for myself, which is actually pushing the ladies now in seeking better
Yeah.
and trying to improve themselves. So with that in mind and with the experience you've had, do you feel in the nearest 5 to 10 years we are going to be having a new wave of tech entrepreneurs or people specialized in the digital skills?
You mean women or people?
Women.
Because we already have them.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's not even a matter of 5 to 10 years, we have them.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of women. I've actually I've trained women who have become digital entrepreneurs in like within the past 3 years.
Yeah.
So yes, if we're saying in the next 5 years, it's just going to be better. It's just going to be bigger than it is now. But absolutely yes, there will be more women.
So, but so far, have you been facing challenges, especially maybe mindset or women not just feeling up to it and stuff like that?
Okay, I was writing an essay the other day, and I was actually talking about that. I feel like there is a mindset thing in our community, like you mentioned. We are coming from a space where women still feel somehow dependent. Some women, please, not every woman. Some women still feel very dependent, and then they have not totally embraced that space where they are supposed to take total control of their lives. So when you share an opportunity, let me give a very basic example. We are going to share an opportunity. Chevening scholarship is ongoing now. Applications are okay. By the time I'm talking, Chevening scholarship is actually open. So you tell people that Chevening scholarship is open, and then you give them some directives, or maybe follow here, join this webinar to get orientation on how to follow your application. Somebody doesn't join the webinar, they don't come to you for anything, and then after some time they're bringing you some funny aces. Oh, Sandy, I wrote this thing. I don't know how, if you could look at it. You look at it and you're like, okay, did you go through the webinar? I forgot that day I was doing this. It just looks like you're not ready.
Yeah.
So that is the biggest challenge that I'm facing on this journey. It feels to me like people are excited about achieving, but they are not ready to put in the effort yet. Nothing comes without you working for it. No matter how passionate we are, no matter how excited we are about growth, there's no way that growth will come unless you're able to intentionally tell yourself that I am giving my energy into this thing, I'm giving my strength into this thing. And people are not yet ready to give the strength. It's a good thing that we have gotten to that space where we feel like doing it, but we need more. We need a reconstruction of our minds.
Yeah, it's actually a pertinent point because speaking to some of the ladies that we have now, I have had an interaction with a few. Some will come to you and they'll be like, I'm looking for a job, or do you have opportunities for me?
Yeah.
And when you suggest to them, they'll be like, it's stressful. That thing like that. This is the kind of
Yeah,
you
it happens.
And you feel like, is this person really serious? Do they want to take this thing serious?
Mhm.
But then not to take away anything from those that are actually putting on the effort and trying to see how they can achieve their objectives.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up, I would like to find out: do you, as a person, feel like you have a strategy or some sort of model you want to implement to be able to tackle issues like that?
I think the simplest thing that I do is that I take everyone as a beginner.
Okay.
I always feel like I don't assume that you know anything. I don't take anybody with the assumption. I don't expect you to be super. I say this even to my mentees. I don't expect you to come in with some knowledge. If you were supposed to come in with knowledge, then you weren't supposed to come in. So if you are coming into a space of learning, you're coming into a space of training, it means you're devoting yourself, you're telling yourself that, hey, I am empty and I want to be filled. This is just like we go to God, right? When you're going to Christ, you're like, take me as I am. You're nothing. So when you're open to learning, you're coming into that space where you're empty. So I take people like that. I feel like it helps because when you come in and you're empty, it means you're ready to have us work. You're ready to have us push this thing. What do we need? Are we building a structure for you? Are we doing are we doing proper follow-up? Are we looking for an accountability partner? What exactly are we doing? Whatever we are doing, we are tailoring it in that domain. Because if you begin to assume that people know or don't know or know to a certain extent, you are going to keep facing those challenges. So my model or my pattern or my style is that I receive everybody as you don't know anything, and then we pick it up from there. This is something, if I can say this is something I find really interesting, even with the job that I do. I never wanted to do a job, but at the time that I found Maxwell, I was not ready for a full-time job at all. But the major reason that I went to that space, I know even my boss will hear this for the first time, is because it felt to me like this is a space that reflects the kind of thing I am building.
Yeah.
Which means that we train in IT skills, we train in digital marketing, cybersecurity, software engineering, and you don't need to come in here with some background in any of those things. You don't need to come in with some knowledge of IT in any way. If you're coming from an accounting class, you'll fit in. If you're coming from a law class, you fit in. Medicine school, you fit in. I have students like that. So the fact that it was receptive of all kinds of people looked to me like something that really fits our society. It felt to me like this is a solution to a problem in our community. So yeah, my personal life as a trainer and my work, the have that model. We take people as empty people, and then we are making sure that we are building you towards achieving whatever you desire.
Okay, if I can grasp a little bit of what you're trying to say, it's more of, or let me just summarize, it's more of building a family whereby everybody feel they have a role to play, and they are not so much, how can I say, they are not going to be sent away if they are lacking in one aspect or another.
Yeah, it's a space where you can feel vulnerable. It's a space where you can say, if we're doing something, you'll tell me that I don't know how to edit a document on Microsoft Word, or I don't know what Google Docs is. I don't know what, like you can be vulnerable. You can be sincere with yourself about what you know and what you don't know when you are in that space.
Okay, now final question, so that I don't keep you here for long. Yeah, speaking of which, now assuming that there's this lady out there, because the notion is that even though with the work that is coming on and with the advent of technology and everything at your fingertips, because with your mobile phone you can have access to any knowledge you want to if you're determined and willing, but somehow there are still people who are not there yet. And it's true that we have come down to the point where it's more of a mindset issue. But then if you're talking to somebody or you're addressing a pool of people that are in that category and you want to pull them out of it, what exactly would you tell them?
Refresh your question a bit.
Okay, in more or less, I'm just trying to say, what would you give as a way of advice or an encouragement to the young ladies that are still out there finding their feet, or in seeing how they can maybe pick up a skill? Is it even necessary? Is it important? How can it help me, and stuff like that?
That question is really broad. I thought you were going to rephrase it and make it small and approachable, but you still did the same thing. Okay, so let me start from the fact: is it necessary? Of course, absolutely, it is. The only way to, now the feminist in me talking, the only way to have your person, the only way to have control over yourself is when you can also take care of yourself. Let's look at situations. I always say that the reason somebody would stay in an abusive relationship is because they don't know where they will go to.
Yeah,
it's because they know that they're going back to their family. You're going back to your mother. And your father your father would say, even your mother would say, you can come back. You can come back. If the man is not treating you well, come back.
Come
2
back.
weeks in your house. Your mother will start telling you how you were not supposed to put that much oil in that food. How you know that this is not your husband's house, eh? You understand. So the only way you can have your agency, your control, is if you have something that fends for you, that if you're getting out of any toxic space. This is not only about relationships. It also means if there is a job that you don't like, if you don't like a particular course that you're doing in school, if you want to change it, you don't always have to totally rely on somebody. You have that person inside of you that can also make decisions, and you can only make decisions if you can fund them.
Yeah.
If someone else is funding your decisions, there's no way you will make them. So yes, it is absolutely necessary. But how do you go about it? Going about this is very tricky. Like you mentioned, the social media, there is a lot of material, and sometimes it feels like somebody will say, hey, if I want to learn anything, I can go on the internet. True, but also false. Because that internet has everything, but it also has a lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
This means if I sit down now and I have cameras in front of me, I set up my mic, I clean my lens, I sit down and I start telling you some things about medicine. I am saying it confidently, you will believe me. You will not know that I don't know. So that's to tell you that on the internet, everybody can say anything. And there is no system that really scrutinizes what goes out. That is why it is important to work with the structure. Either you're working with a trainer, either you're working with an institution, either you're working with a mentor, just have somebody that guides you, that is guiding you. Because if you just make the decision on your own and you sit there, you say that you want to learn, I'm not saying that it is impossible, but I'm saying that it is going to waste a lot of your time. But if you had someone to guide you, you wouldn't be wasting that time. You would take a better road. I always say experience is the best teacher, but it doesn't have to be your experience. Learn from the experience of others. That's why you need people who have walked your path to walk with you.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. So, with everything we have been talking, there are a few things which we should note out here. Discipline.
Discipline, of course.
Paramount.
Yeah.
Discipline, flexibility.
Yeah.
An open mind to understand that you can exploit situations and you can learn from certain circumstances, and then your personality. Building a personality is actually important in all of this, because if you go to a mentor send you a message and you need to do this, you say, mentor slap me up. So anyways, just to say, it's also good the way you interact with people, because if you're not ready to submit under somebody, then you're not ready to
learn. Please let me say something there. If you're not ready to submit under somebody, don't even waste your time. I always tell my trainees I am very nice, but if you come around me and you're lazy, you're also going to feel unnecessarily pressured and maybe dropped along the line. Because people think it's a bad thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So if we have to do something, let's do it. If you're not able to do it, communicate it properly. Just learn those soft skills that make you better. So if you're in that space, if you come up and you're like, I want to learn, even if you know me, even if we are friends from secondary school, in that space you want to learn, let us be committed to your learning. I don't like unnecessary jokes. I don't even find a lot of things funny. So you might be joking. I'm thinking that you're joking, but it's actually annoying me, especially in a workspace. And I've seen that with a lot of mentors. I work with a lot of people, and when you get to them, these people don't have time for too much nonsense. So you're not going to walk into their space and start thinking that it's one of those people that you joke with in the quarters. No. So everybody, if you're walking up to somebody to work with them, be intentional about being serious, be intentional about submitting to that space to learn. This is not only about mentors, this is even about your workspace. If you're working in a company, you must be able to submit. Yes, I know that if we can start a whole conversation about how companies treat us, but before a company treats you, how do you treat that company? How do you give yourself to that space? What do you do that makes somebody feel like they should also push you to becoming a better version of yourself? So wherever you are, be intentional about that growth.
It's really important, because you go and you get lost along the way. I've had conversations with people where they are like, okay, can you show me this? Can you show me this?
Mhm.
And day one, day two, you'll be like, okay, let's meet at 7. 7, you start hearing excuses like, the network was not there.
They come back at 8. And
Yeah.
they're like, Madam, I'm sorry, oh, I was not online.
And you're like, so that's the funny part about the whole thing. But then we just have to, because it's true that we shouldn't give up on them.
Yeah.
We try to see how we can always extend our program to them and pull them along. And funny enough, the part where I heard this was on a comic video where they said, before you lead, you must follow.
Yes. Absolutely. I mean, you've never followed.
You never follow.
So how do you want people to follow?
How do you want people to follow?
Doesn't make sense.
So, anyways, let's not waste your time anymore. We really appreciate you coming on the platform and sharing your experience with us and seeing how we can pass out a message to a lot of people out there. And we hope subsequently along the line we can have you some other time. Well, you have a lot in your mind. We still have to tap from there.
Okay, no problem. As time permits, we'll always do it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, that was Sandy Nyangha, and she shared a lot with us, and we believe that you have picked a lot as well. So then, see you next Thursday.